Don't miss the inaugural All-American Cup Team Tennis Tournament, presented by Thomas J. Henry, at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas, November 11 through 13. The All-American Cup features 10 top men's U.S. players competing on 2 teams, East versus West, each captained by the greatest tennis doubles team of all time, Mike and Bob Bryan. You don't want to miss this. Brother versus brother, East versus West, best versus best. Tickets on sale now at allamericantenniscup.com.
Pickle, let's go to the hotline, and let's welcome in, as we always do, every Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
Football Today. The Texas High School Football Hall of Famer. You know him as the voice of the Texas Longhorns. You hear him on the Horn in Austin every weekday on Light the Tower, and you hear him on and see him on High School Scoreboard Live Friday nights on Bally Sports Southwest alongside Aaron Hardigan and myself. We're joined by the great Craig Way. Craig, it's great to talk to you. We usually don't ask you text questions here, but I do have to ask you. So Saturday was pretty fun, huh? Oh, no.
Oh, Craig.
Craig!
We're going to cold call him here.
We're going to cold call him. We're just going to do it on the air.
I was going to say, you're going to hear it. He's
great.
a professional.
This
He
is great.
knows. Or he's just going to yell at me.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay, he's on the air now. We're joined by Craig Way.
He had too much fun with the
He
Fletcher's
was having
dog.
too much fun. Craig, Saturday was pretty fun, right?
It didn't suck, you know.
Did you get a corn dog? Do you eat a corn dog when you go to the?
Yeah, I saw a picture.
I do.
Okay.
I do. And more's the point. I decided, because of my decided sweet tooth, and really and truly, I have nobody but Steve Sarkisian to blame for this, because on his coach's show last week, Sark and I were talking about a lot of the state fair fried foods and all that. Yeah. Sark has a huge sweet tooth. He's not so much. I was reading different pulled pork items and stuff like that, and he wasn't so much for that. But then when I started getting down to things like the dough muff, which was the cross between the donut and the muffin, and the chocolate this, and the hand dip that, and the mini donut stuff, he was like, "Sign me up. I'm in for all of those. I like all of those." And so I mentioned the peanut butter paradise to him, and he said, "Oh yeah." He said, "That sounds good too." And I said, "If things go well on Saturday, and you get a win and all that, would you allow someone to bring you one of those deals to eat on the bus?" And he said, "Absolutely." So we get to the fairgrounds on Saturday morning, and I dispatched my son, Andy, to run off to the concession stand, because the reward for him is that, I just go get this, swipe the card and get this, chock full of tickets, and then he gets whatever he wants, So I had him bring me a peanut butter paradise. And it was pretty good. I mean, it did kind of taste like somebody took a funnel cake or something and put all kinds of Reese's Pieces and Reese's peanut butter cups and the other stuff, and then stuck it in a microwave for 25 seconds. But it was still good. Mm-hmm. And so I ate some of that. Then after the game, I got a corn dog, because I always get a corn dog after the game. And then I asked Sark in the post game if he was going to get that. He said, "Yes, we've earned it today." So somebody went and got him something like that. So he really liked it.
I'll say. Absolutely. All right. On to more pressing matters. And that is, buddy, it's a huge week for high school football in your neck of the woods. I can't remember a week specifically in the Austin area that's quite like this. Is there one or two games down there in the capital city that have really got you jazzed up?
Yeah, I think so. And even the undercard games, so to speak, say Leander Glenn trying to figure out if they're for real, having to go to College Station and play. That's kind of important. Granger at home against Bremont, that's a big one. But the three that there's really four heavyweight 6A games that come to matter. In 26 6A, Buda Johnson's playing Thursday night against Bowie. Mm-hmm. And that could go a long way toward determining what we expect to be the fourth and final playoff spot out of that, because if you're going Westlake and then either Lake Travis or Dripping Springs, however, all that goes, there's that. And of course, then you've got Westlake at Drip on Friday night. And then, of course, in 25 6A, which I think you put in really the best terms, just absolutely fascinating, the machinations that can run off of that. Because you got Vandegrift and Round Rock, who have been meeting for the last 3 years for the de facto district title, but it hasn't really meant that much other than a gold ball for the trophy case, because Round Rock's always gone Division I and Vandy has always gone Division II. Well, that could very well change depending on what happens in the other games, most notably Vista Ridge at Stony Point. If Vista Ridge were to win that game, and right now the Rangers are 3-0, and of course their schedule is really backloaded, really heavy loaded. They closed with Manor, Vandegrift, and Round Rock. But if they win that game on Friday, then they have wins over everybody else in the district other than those three. So it pretty much puts them in position to be a playoff team. And that would send them in as Division II. If Maynard gets in, they too would be Division II. Then that Round Rock and Vandegrift game takes on even more meaning because they would both be going Division I. And so the winner would likely meet Lake Travis, and the loser would have to deal with Westlake in my district. And even the winner, it's no guarantee, obviously. So Vandegrift obviously is, they'd like to see Stony be able to get in. And that's not the only path at Avenue, because you got Cedar Ridge playing at Manor. And Cedar Ridge has had a couple of big second halves the last 2 weeks in winning. Manor's dropped its last two. So if Cedar Ridge were to continue its role and find a way to beat Manor, and then Manor, say, fall to Vista Ridge and they fall out of it, then you're talking about Vandegrift being right back in Division II. So there's a lot of fascinating elements that can turn this week and next week out of 25-6A.
Talking to Craig Way, the Texas High School Football Hall of Famer here on Texas Football Today. You can involve the conversation at #TF Today. All right, Craig, I want to ask you a little bit about, the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press rankings came out yesterday, and there are some, I would say, re-emerging teams that have re-entered the rankings. We're on the cusp of re-entering the rankings. And I want to take your temperature on them, specifically two teams that are in the rankings right now. South Oak Cliff has moved back into the 5A Division II rankings. Brock has moved back into the 3A Division I rankings, albeit down at number 10 for both those teams. And Lovejoy, which has 2 losses on the year, has not yet emerged in the 5A Division II. I can tell you as somebody who helps with that they are more or less on deck. Where do you stand as far as the time elapsing and time, getting farther away from what was a rough start for some of these preseason favorites? Where do you stand as far as letting them kind of re-emerge back into the rankings?
Well, some of the ones that have pedigrees have to have some time to do that. Yeah. I don't think there's a doubt about that. I made the comment even before you came on the show this morning when I was going through your rankings. I said, here's South Oak Cliff back in the top 10. Oh, by the way, the Golden Bears are above 500 for the first time this season. Mm-hmm. So here they are above the 500 mark at 4-3. So maybe right now, Jason Todd's team is just really starting to really get its footing, and maybe they wind up being the dangerous team everybody figured all along they would be, but it's taken some time with that. And I think the same holds for Brock. I think there are several teams that fall into that category that needed some extra time. And a lot of that comes down to how the coaches are dealing with the kids, and a lot of it comes down to injuries as well. We were just talking about 25-6A. I mean, there are teams like Cedar Ridge and Stony Point that have had massive injuries just really go through their ball clubs, including Stony Point losing 2 quarterbacks during the year. And we may see that happen with South Lake Carroll, by the way, with Caden Anderson's injury. So, those are the things we start to watch. Who gets back from injury, and has the coaching kicked in with that group coming off, whether it was good or bad, what the season was the year before, and do they have that forward momentum going on right now? And I think that's the case with some of those teams.
Finally, Craig, it's the meanest thing I do to you every week, which is I'm going to give you 3 games. I'm going to allow you to teleport to one of them. And as an added bonus here, an added flavor, I'm going to avoid the Austin area because it is a great week, as you mentioned. Trip in Westlake,
yes.
Round Rock, Vandegrift, great week in Austin area. I'm going to avoid there. You can go to Burleson to watch Aledo take on suddenly district favorite Burleson Centennial. I guess we'll find out. You can go to that game. You can go. It's cheating a little bit. It's greater Austin, but Hitchcock takes on Columbus in a battle of unbeatens in 3A. Or you can go to Belmead, as I said on Tep and Step yesterday, the spiritual home of Dave Campbell's Texas football. You can watch China Spring play Waco La Vega in a district opener. Which of those 3 are you hopping in the teleporter for?
Well, first things first, from a boundary perspective, I think once you get on east past LaGrange on 71, you've officially left the greater Austin area.
Call him out.
LaGrange,
That's fair. That's fair. We got to put him somewhere. I think that's fair. Yeah.
yeah. They're kind of in that little bit of no man's land, a little bit, so to speak, are the Cardinals. But I think I would lean really toward that matchup in Burleson because I want to see how for real they are. I know you feel that they are for real, and you think they've got a good chance to take out Alito. Well, they've already knocked off Ryan. Can they do it again? That's another one of they're facing back-to-back prove-it-to-me games. Well, they've proven it once. Can they prove it again? And so that's the one that I would go with.
He's Craig Way. He's a Texas High School Football Hall of Famer. You can hear him on the Horn in Austin every weekday on Light the Tower with Jeff Howe. You can also see him on High School Scoreboard Live on Friday nights on Valley Sports Southwest alongside Aaron Hardigan and myself. Craig, appreciate your time, my friend, and I will see you on Friday.
Listen, I'm in Austin, so I've officially left the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex except on Friday when I go up there to do the show.
Sure.
You and Pickle, you still have plenty of time to get over to the fairgrounds and get you some of that fried food.
This is not a false statement.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Attack it.
Yeah, but Pickle's going to make me buy the tickets, though.
Well, yeah, that's the deal, right, Craig?
Bye,
As long as
Craig.
Lano's unbeaten.
Let's go.
No, bye,
Let's
Craig.
go.
Bye, Craig. There he goes. Craig Way, the Texas High School Football Hall of Famer, joins us every Tuesday on Texas Football Today.
My guy.
Always trying to.
We always do business.
He's always trying to. He's always trying to just goose you up. You know what I mean?
This, again, my guy.
Anyway.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.